question I get when people find out that I am a young breast cancer survivor is, how'd you find your lump? Well, funny story, we never found a lump. The reason I'm doing this video today is because there are so many misconceptions about what breast cancer looks like. And those misconceptions lead to the misdiagnosis and late detection for many women just like myself. So today I'm going to tell you guys a few things that led to me discovering that I had breast cancer, and they are all things that are not necessarily considered the norm. So the first symptom really that I had was pain and fullness. Oftentimes you'll hear people say that breast cancer is not painful. In my case, it was. That pain and fullness then led to discharge that I saw on the inside of my bra. I was not aware that it was discharged at first. I just did not know what was happening. There were stains in the inside of my bra. What ultimately led to the discovery of the nipple discharge was I was doing a self-exam, not laying on my back like I should have been, but I still discovered it. Basically going down my breast with my fingers like this, and I could feel the areas that were sore and that were really painful. And then as I was pressing, I discovered that discharge expelled. I also had the same thing happening when examining my breast from the bottom. So I basically just went around my breast and feeling it. While I was doing this, I will say, I felt areas that felt a little swollen, but I never felt a lump. Around this time last year, April, March 2016, I went to the hospital. And the hospital, when we saw the discharge, the hospital would not see me because they said my breast was not red. There were no indications really that I had cancer. Next, I went to my primary care doctor. We do the exam, and she basically sends me off to do an ultrasound and a mammogram. This is in April of last year. I was told that the test came back negative. Maybe I had an infection. The interesting thing about that was that I did not know that because of how dense my breasts were, there were other tests that I could have taken. I could have done an MRI. I didn't know that was an option. I really just kind of trusted my doctor to say that more tests were needed, and I think that was my biggest mistake. So I didn't take the medicine that they gave me for an infection because I didn't have any other signs of an infection. So this ultimately led me to a visit with my OB, where I explained to her that I was having discharge. So this started in about April of last year, and it was about October when I finally got to my OBGYN, and she said, no, this is not normal. By the time we got to October, that greenish brown discharge had actually turned to like red brown. It was actually quite bloody at this point and watery. And on both occasions when I did the exams, the mammogram and the ultrasound, the second time I did the mammogram and ultrasound when I went to a breast surgeon, there was discharge that was expelled during the process of the exams. The second time, they seemed a bit more concerned than they did the first time, and I just so happened to be blessed with a doctor that was like, this isn't normal. We can't tell you why it's doing this with the tests that we have, even though they're saying they're not sure, so we're going to do one more test. The test that actually showed my cancer was a breast MRI. And I tell women this all the time when they ask me, because if I had known there was another test that I could have done when I wasn't sure, but I knew something was wrong back in March and April, I would have asked to do the other test. So yeah, I basically just happened to be one of those rare cancer cases where I was everything they said it couldn't be. They said I was too young. They said breast cancer normally isn't painful. They told me that my mammograms and ultrasounds came back negative. And sure enough, I had cancer, and I had to follow a treatment plan starting in January of 2017, starting with the bilateral mastectomy, radiation, and then 10 years of hormone therapy. The moral of the story is you are your best health advocate. If you think something's wrong, you owe it to yourself to find out what it is. Having a negative test and not having an answer is not an answer. Get an answer. I'll be back with more videos, guys. I want to talk to you guys about my journey, things that I'm discovering about myself, learning about my body, and just other things that I'm just encountering on this journey. So I look forward to talking with you guys more.
Hey there, Brave Beauties. If you like to stay connected, be sure to follow me on Instagram at BraveBeauty26, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and check out my blog at blackgirlbrave.com.